Hi, and welcome to Filmwali Adda. In this episode, I'll be talking to Aditi Roy, also known as Mia Maelzer. Aditi says that she created the character Mia, who would go on to play many other characters. I thought that was very interesting, a perspective that she talks about in this conversation. Mia has been a graduate of the National School of Drama, and she has also been a part of several international projects like The Braid and The Field, which have gone to international film festivals. The last year, she has been appreciated and much talked about for her role in Stolen. She played a tribal woman who was a surrogate mother, and her role won her nominations in the OTT Filmfare Awards last year. And recently, she has also been nominated at the Screen Awards, Indian Express Screen Awards, as the best female actor in OTT space. In this conversation, we talk about several things which interest me about her work, which is, in this particular case, about Stolen. We largely talk about her character and how she got to create that character along with the director and that process. We'll get to know about her thoughts about the film industry and how women can have access to the film industry. She had some very interesting things to say, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. So please watch the whole episode, leave your comments, and subscribe to the channel Filmwali. Thank you.
संपा
ये मेरा क्या हो गया? एक बात है, अरे भाई ने इस भाई की छोरी को चोरी किया। बच्चा चुरा के कोई खड़ा रहेगा यहाँ पे?
गलत थी उसकी, मर जाएगी अपने बच्चे के बिना।
डिग्गी चेक करो। अब भारत
बच्चे का
कहाँ छुपा के रखा है उसको?
बच्चा चुरा के भाग रही है ये।
नहीं,
इसका नहीं है ये। अब पीछा यार तू।
आप लोग
So, like we were talking earlier, if you could tell me a bit about how you were approached for this film and what has been your journey. It has taken some years for it to come into fruition and become a film. But before that, there is a story that exists, and I'd love to know more about how you created the character with the director and what was your process like.
Yeah, I mean, they came home and then they came with an idea of making a one take cinema. That's why they needed somebody well trained, and because it's a lot of technology and all that, which is not visible, but in a very technically high, challenging set, you need to have a trainer possibly because of that. And yeah, I mean, naturally they gravitated towards my profile, and I got gravitated to the idea of this experiment in cinema, which is always exciting for me. And the story, what they came with, the script, they did a narration sitting in my balcony, and I wasn't even sure what's happening. I was liking what was happening. I love being in process. And yeah, I mean, it was also exciting to know there was another writer who had worked with me earlier, who was working on this project also, Swapnil. So yeah, the three of them were writing it, and then Karan insisted on developing this character. Yeah, I mean, then the research started, and bit by bit, block by block, we started figuring out who she is and what could be her background. I mean, it was completely a very organic flow and a series of exercises between the director and the actor. And he gave me a lot of homework. May not be a lot, but quite a good graph to work on and study. And I started watching a different kind of cinema also to prep for that, because each film would come with its own mood board and stuff like that. So we have to, blend ourselves into that universe. So that started happening, and I had some of the best coaches.
So there wasn't like a screenplay given to you or
No,
solid like that. There was a narration, and then
Script was given to me in each state. I don't even know or remember exact count of how many drafts, and drafts were still coming while we were on set. So this is one of
Okay.
those films where
Okay.
drafts kept building as we went, and it never stopped. It never stopped. Even, I mean, every time the film till you all saw, it was
Yeah.
always in a stage of moving to the next, moving to the
Yeah.
next. There was nothing very concrete except for the story we were bringing out to the world, the people who we were making it with generally, and also uh, the characters, their background, their thing. Rest, everything was discovered, and there were moments those happened on set while on shoot also. I had brilliant co-actors, so we had also had to be ready for
Yeah.
whatever. It was like a tennis match, you know.
Correct. And tell me about, is it a common practice for actors to be involved in the creation of a character, or is it something which was unique to this film that you experienced?
See, it depends also. It depends on the kind of project you are working on and the role you're playing in the building of that project. So it is very much like that. And for me, the school of acting that I have been trained primarily in, or
Mm.
I kind of try to take forward, in that I have noticed this is very much part of our job, which is why we
Okay.
charge any remuneration or another title that, oh, we are writing it with you, or we are doing. Of course, I mean, if it is preset, or if any producer wants me as a writer to write
Mm.
a role and the film, it's a different engagement. But as an actor, when a role and a script is given to us, and then after that, the work that we do with the director, I don't think I come from a school where I will stand up and take a writing credit, because it comes from the training, and it is very much part of our job.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Work on it. This is why we get paid. We
Right.
come and parrot a line or mimic something. We also, create the character for the audiences to see, and it's not always just the body that we bring or the voice. We also bring the mindset. So yeah.
That sounds great. And that sounds like such a much more involved and engaged process for an
Hmm.
actor to do instead of just land up on set and, mouth some lines. There is a
That
time.
is also another kind of acting. That is
Hmm.
also part
Hmm.
of the job. I'm not saying this is good or that is bad. Nothing like that. It is what is needed for it. What is the team capacity?
But do you think it's in independent cinema that you get that space versus mainstream cinema?
I may not be the right person to comment on it, because I haven't had much of a so-called mainstream experiences beyond a few cameo in a couple of industries across India. But I don't know. I don't think I will be the right person to.
To compare like that.
Yeah,
Whether it's qualitatively different for you as an actor.
I have lack of experience to comment on it equally.
Hmm. 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 Can you tell me a bit about what would be your contribution to Jhumpa's character? What did you bring into her through your research, through your understanding, through your background? What did you bring to her character that we see on screen?
Authenticity. That's the first thing I wanted to bring. I don't know how much I'm successful in bringing it, but yeah, I mean, that authenticity is what uh, my intentions were. And I think it was kind of successful to an extent that nobody um, recognized me when I was even there standing on my own screening. And that was a good validation for me.
Wow, yes, definitely.
Like, I was literally, and I did not go on the initial screenings anywhere. I mean, I just went to Venice, which,
Hmm.
other than that, yeah, I was in Kerala with two of my films. But then again, I think the biggest validation I enjoy and also get frustrated at times because I'm an actor. We are as narcissist as people as you must to be, and there's no shying away from it.
Yeah.
Why should I? I mean, I'm creating this character, Mia, who's playing so many characters, and uh, the point of success for me was when nobody recognized that this is the actress who's actually, I mean, they have seen my films. I was standing with people who have seen my films probably so many times. They have
Yeah.
literally come up and said, like, we have seen the film on edit or uh, on screenings and all. But before anybody could introduce that you are the girl, and they were there at the screening in Excel the day we had a screening for Amazon's premiere or something like that.
Okay. Okay.
That was the only thing that I went to Bombay to watch it with my people, this film.
Yeah.
And nobody recognized.
That's when you felt like,
That's when I knew that I played it so authentically
yeah,
that I am not seen in that role.
amazing. Amazing.
Jhumpa is seen. That's all.
Yeah.
That's my goal. Like people should remember, like they should walk out of the theater remembering the character they saw, not me.
Amazing. But I love that you said authenticity, and I agree that there is so little of that we see in cinema sometimes. Like we crave authenticity, we crave, for actors to shed their persona and really assume the persona of the character. But as an audience, I feel like I don't get to see that enough. So I really feel like that is something I'm glad you brought it up. But I'd like to break down the idea of authenticity into parts. Like how do you bring authenticity? What do you do as an actor to bring that?
Initially, process is very clinical, like in the studio, how we go. I personally start from, I mean, it depends again on role to role. But because of Jhumpa, because I had to find the language, I had to find the body, I had to find everything, everything. It was completely just something written on paper.
Right.
The references I had were all from real life references. So I kind of started meeting the women and all. And the way they spoke to me when I was on research, the way they were talking about their plight and the eyes and the pain and the honesty when they're talking to me about something, when they want me to give them a solution when we were in a, I mean, there have been times when I had faced some kind of adversity with the team when we were talking to each other. We had to be very careful, so many parameters, which is why till date I cannot reveal the lady's identity whom I have met. So
Right.
really in because their safety is also my responsibility. But when they were talking to me the way they expected something good, something to change after talking to me, that hope is what I had to be very honest with. Like, I cannot give up this fight because my film is out and it's a hit. Okay, let's move on. No, that is something they do not expect out of me. I don't expect out of me. And I think that authenticity was there till the last scene of the film, where, I mean, now the film is out, everybody knows. We were not really, I mean, in the team, there was no clarity that the film is at the point where you see it ending. And I
Okay.
on fighting for it. And I had people who believed in me and who also believed in the end I was suggesting, and we kept it. That itself is a good fight we had put on.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think this is what I will fight. Sometimes I will be successful in Stolen and successful to leave the film on a note where I say there is hope.
Yeah. That was important for you because,
That's so important for me when I do cinema.
yeah, I love that idea because even like with the films that I make, I pursue it with the lens of possibility. Like there is, like recently I was watching this documentary filmmaker. I think she is based in New York. I don't know if she's Indian or Pakistani, but she was quoting a Pakistani activist. And she was saying that it is only the privileged who have, it is only the elite who have the privilege of losing hope. You know, the one who's on the frontier of facing things, they cannot lose hope because that's the only thing that's keeping them alive. And that's the only thing that helps them wake up in the morning and do what they have to do. So it's very privileged to say, oh, everything is bad, nothing will improve and nothing will get better. But the idea that you left the film with hope, so you're saying that is something you brought
Yes,
into
yes.
the film to
Not
yeah,
only me, I mean, I fought for it because
yeah,
I was constantly consulted on what could be the end. And if you consult me on something like that,
yeah,
I would say and fight. And I have always made sure that that kind of hope we have seen as a team. And whenever we have not been successful. So I'm not just saying it very emotionally, I'm saying it very, very um, logically as a creative person who's making a cinema with other people's money and wants to
yeah.
take it out to the market of cinema and wants to bring back the money into the business. This is not going to be a very successful model if we are selling something, even if it's an independent cinema. It's a
Yeah.
we're not doing it like a painting. We are sitting at home and doing it with canvas and color or at home and admiring it all day, whether it gets sold or not. Here, you're creating an art piece with a market's money, with a large amount of people engaged in it, whose bread and butter is also involved in it. You cannot, I mean, I believe as an artist, I cannot joke around with that kind of responsibility. And if I'm able to create something creativity, why do we create anything? Creativity, because it builds that hope. It tells us on a dark, cloudy night that if I just draw a sun, maybe tomorrow I will see a sun. Like children do, in winters, they just sit and draw a little bit of sun ray coming out of the mountain that they draw. That's hope. So cinema should be that simplistic in chasing that ray of light. And if I don't see that light at the end of the tunnel, I will not come into this black room and again go engaged in the darkness I'm already seeing around. What's the difference between a news and a film then?
I love that. I love that you said I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a news report and a film then? And I feel a lot of independent filmmakers who want to make like Stolen wasn't an issue-based film. It was a film which at the end we get to understand something about surrogacy and the lives of women who go through it. Um, but it wasn't, I think, intended to be about that. But there are filmmakers who intend to make something about an issue and then they really get into a dark space. And I have such a problem with that as well, because what are you telling me at the end of this film that I'm supposed to, that there is no hope, there's no way out for these characters? So I love that you said that that it is a film and a film should leave you with some kind of a ray of hope at the end of it. So we've discussed authenticity. I like that you broke down the character with the ideas of body and voice. Is there anything else you would like to add in that process that you had? There's body, there's voice, and there's research that you said, which is you met.
Daily habits and food, so many factors actually. It's not
Mm, mm,
one or two or three. It's like 3 years of a lifestyle reversing it towards that character. And
mm,
working, like, if very small thing, like if I'm somebody who wakes up in the morning and does so many physical chores, so I have
mm,
to adapt to that character's physical strength also, because when I'm navigating on set in any hypothetical given situation that is written on the script, I am still moving with the strength of that character's body. I cannot be a nimble ballerina when I'm actually playing a Dalit who's picking up two heavy buckets and,
mm.
taking it to her family with who's living so far, or baby Jhumpa who's carrying this baby. So I'm not somebody who's a mother carrying a baby. So I had to literally adopt my cat. I mean, I didn't have to, I had to I mean, everything fell in like so organically when I was prepping for it, that I met my cat, and I got him home, and I started carrying him, and he was exactly that 5 months baby. Cats are always
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I mean, so many things started building up, and each film is an each like is an insight inside my heart also for me to see where it is leading me, and that's the best part of being an actor. I think that's the thing I love the most when you're
Can you
given
elaborate that a little bit?
the basic changes that you do in your own schedule. Because see, for the past 25 years I'm probably on the same schedule of learning my craft. Now the riyaz had to be like every time I get a project, there's some changes into my daily riyaz, so that is also very exciting. So it's body, voice, uh, then mindset, what I'm reading, the kind of books I'm reading, that will affect the kind of content that will make me curious. Like, for example, this surrogacy, I had no idea
Yeah.
too much into the details of it. No, like before I went into this project, I can't say I had the deep knowledge that I ended up having after finishing it. So that subject, making
Yeah.
me aware of that. Why would she run away? So I had to literally become very curious about all the train timings and the connectivity of Indian Railway.
Wow, that's a very minor detail, but that's
Yeah,
something.
and these things build my character, because when she's taking over the journey in the second half of the film, where you see actually she's driving these boys out of that maze, where
Hmm.
they're all like uh, all stuck in the center, in the heart of Rajasthan. In
Yeah.
palaces we have these mazes where you go and play and do hide and seek, but they were literally in a village where they had never been. So this is the
Yeah.
girl who knows how to get out of that maze. How would she know? So these
Uh,
are
tell, tell me a bit about your experience on the set. Am I right in assuming that you were the only woman on set, or were there other women on set? What was it?
no, I wasn't the only woman on set. I'm very blessed that way. When I'm on set, there are a lot of other women and also
Hmm.
in good HOD positions. So I was surrounded by some great professionals who happened to be women, and
Okay.
some of them were actually first time HOD. They
Okay. Like,
were in the business for a long time, but
okay.
my set, they were starting off as HOD, and I was so proud of it. And I'm very grateful to the producer, director, who were not female, to consider and take this call.
Who was the HOD, or who were you talking about?
We had makeup and hair, without whom this character, I mean, like I said, an actor is not an individual standing there.
Yeah.
So costume, hair, everything, even the miking guy, everybody
Hmm.
makes come together. And yeah, she was there. Then we had one of the most important women on set as AD right now in India, who is also our AD. There were a couple of other ADs also,
So,
similar things. So
as an actor, do you feel like you were saying, you were consulted a lot and you were constantly in the process of creating, even on set? So it was, you would say it was an equitable kind of a set where everybody was given their due in terms of participating. Uh,
we made the film, yeah. Till we made it, yes. Till the last minute we shot, everything was there was no problem, I felt.
right.
After that, yes, after that, the roles change and things change. And after that, I don't think it's too much of my business also. I mean, till I'm shooting the film, it's done, it's out. So
Hmm.
after that, it's their call.
But I'd like to also bring up the fact that, how during the promotions in India, at least, we didn't see you anywhere, and you were kind of absent from that. And I wanted to know if that was, how did you feel about that? Was that by design? Like, why didn't we see you in the interviews? And
I don't know much about it, to be honest. I'm very much in the same cloud like everybody who asked me this, and you're honestly not the first person asking me this. And I also felt a little bit not really shocked, but not shocked because I've been in this business for a very long time now. At least I can say that, yes, I have been in the business for a very, very long time. 25 years is not a short time. And but I was taken a bit aback because I didn't expect that the way the film was received in Venice, and the way everybody in the Venice Film Festival presented in their material, in the book that they gave out, the official film magazine of Venice Film Festival, 80th Film Festival. It didn't feel like the story would become like, I don't know how to say it. I thought the story was more important for the Western audiences and the film market. But in India, definitely the story is not the most important thing when they are in the business of promoting it through a channel. And I feel that actually worked in my favor.
why is that?
Because I don't get offered any bullshit role after that. Because I don't do too much of public promotion and all that by default.
Yeah.
A lot of, by default, not so good scripts get filtered away from me. And I really land up getting what I am here excited for. Sometimes I end up doing them. Sometimes I don't bag those roles. And for some other reason, I fall out of the film. But I am also very proud that those good films at least come to me for audition, and there is a talk. I'm in the right room getting discussed at the right table because of a little bit of invisibility from the hardcore media promotion. I don't know, it's maybe my ancestors from the heaven saving me from a lot of trouble.
That's a very, very positive way of looking at it. And I love that you look at it that way. But I feel like as a woman making films, or I want to see you out there in the promotions. Because like they say, if they see you, there'll be more people like you. There'll be more women who want to see women like you in cinema. Be it the way you look, be it your complexion, your physique, like everything that you are needs to be out there so that other women
I feel
also.
that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't think invisibilization of this sort is good for the big picture of other women entering this space.
Yeah. That's one of the reason I feel offended, because when I see, I am a person, I don't like getting out of my house too much, to be honest. I am comfortable with my uh, personal space because I have chosen this career which can become a viral overnight by a simple move taken by me.
Yeah.
But the point is, if you ask me personally, I'm very happy in my personal space. I can have my fuchka on the road. I can just walk down, do whatever. Nobody is filming me on the go. But when I do a project which is so important for the world, and when I work super hard to make it as authentic as possible, to bring that voice out into the media, when that voice is not celebrated or brought out, it's not just my individual setback, it's also like you're shutting that community with me. That is what makes me angry, and that is what I keep fighting for, and that is what I will fight for as authentically as possible within my understanding of my rights and logic. I definitely never go too much all out of my way, because I know, like I said, through my films, there is hope. And I know I don't really have to try too hard also to speak that my voice is getting stolen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not just the baby is getting stolen, it's also a lot more that gets stolen from these women. And I think it's a great way for me to bring it out to the world. And that's why I agreed on interview. I always agree on interviews and all. I would love to talk and communicate with people, but if you make that path very cloudy and very confusing for me, and very much not like the way we believed in
Yeah.
when we were growing up, and if you just force the change on me too much, I'm not buying into that pressure.
Hmm.
So yeah, if the voice needs to be there, I agree. Like, people needs to see that here is somebody who's also doing this kind of cinema, not following the path of so-called strategies and this and that.
Absolutely. And then the whole panel, I felt, of all the interviews were full of men, and there was one Kiran Rao, and there was, of course, she's privileged right now. She's made her mark as a filmmaker, and she has a position in cinema. But
She
I
is the executive producer. She
think so,
will
yeah,
sit there.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But I missed your voice because you were representing the marginalized woman also, right? Like you said, like that is so then it feels like doubly marginalized to not have the actor who is representing
Yeah.
the
I'm
woman.
glad you had this question, but I mean, I'm really glad that you asked this question, and whoever had asked me this question, because I've asked myself the question that in the rooms, this only shows how much less power the women in that room, and there were women in that room who had in their voice, how little power those women sitting in that room had in their own voices, that they didn't ask this, or maybe they asked behind doors, and nobody felt like that in those rooms where these decisions were being taken. Why is she not there? Either these questions were not asked, so I have to assume people in that room are not aware of these questions, or they had a different thing to say about this. But yeah, I mean, it's just surprising. It's surprising.
Okay.
But look at this, for the same role, I've been nominated and awarded internationally as a lead actor.
Oh, right. Yes, yes, absolutely.
And
And here you're
in India,
nominated as a supporting actress, right?
supporting actor. So
Yeah.
that's not something that I will fight for, because for me as an actor, this is fine. It's a question
Yeah.
the channel had to now figure out, and I'm sure they have their marketing strategy and all that. So
Yeah, and but which is also what I'm saying, like because you were not highlighted during the promotions, the perception is that the role wasn't a lead role, right? Like because of that absence, maybe like I'm just thinking about it now that maybe the absence also created that perception.
yeah.
Um,
So I am not insecure to walk down the aisle if at all they call me up on whatever, because it's fair, because it's a black lady, and the very thing that we grew up watching with our
yeah.
mamas, and we kind of fought with our mamas, saying like, oh, one day when I get that, then you will stop telling me where longer skirt or shorter skirt, whatever that is, because one day I'm going to be an actress and I might be at the film fair. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter personally, again, because
Got it.
personally, I'm only at the side of growth and just doing better and better and better till the day I will die. I will keep doing this, whatever that better may be. But yeah, if you say, it's quite funny. It's the difference is very much naked to the eye.
Yeah. Um, so leading from that, I would like to ask you, what are the ways in which the industry, and I'm including independent cinema, world cinema, mainstream cinema, or the OTT space, everything that exists now, how can it be made more equitable for women? How can it be made more accessible? What are the kind of roles that you would want and you're not getting? So how does one navigate this space, and how does one make it accessible mostly, is what I want to ask.
Just
Should
walk into all the rooms and show up and snatch the work. Nobody gives anything to you in a platter. So just walk in and I might sound very ambitious and very rude, but I got this opportunity to talk to other women who are trying to break in. Be a spider, take all your legs out, or octopus, and have an idea in each of your limb, like Ma Durga, like carry something very unique in all your 10 hands. If they don't like it, give them 1 second, like it, third, fourth, just tire the men out of ideas. And women have really, really a large, box filled with their ideas, because we see very differently compared to the way everything is shown so far, right? We are bringing a new perspective to the media, which has been dominated by one type of visual, and we are always trying to experiment. So women are already sitting at the better side of this experiment, because they have been represented less. So they will also have a better idea to share on screen, and they should not be tired. They should make those people tired of not having idea, giving flops after flops, and
Yeah.
they will be coming to a point where they will have no choice but to listen to us, and then you take it over and tell your story. And that's what we all are doing. I mean, this film is not working, I'm moving to the next is not working, I'm moving to the next. It's like that. It's like there's no other way. Just break into the room. Do not want to impress anybody. I'm not sitting here because I've been impressing people. We can't impress anybody. Impress yourself. Your own experience is enough to tell you when you get like the reason I don't say yes to a lot of script is because they don't impress me. It's like that song from Shania Twain that don't impress me much.
Yeah.
So bring something that brings out some excitement. I'm an old lady. I need excitement.
Old lady.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear you. You're saying, yeah, just enter and without fear, without doubt, just bring all your tools and yeah, just give them that sorry, something that give them
Be very
everything.
motherly. And this is what I tell, like be also very gentle and motherly, because boys love that from us, because
Okay.
they're not very well behaved when we behave equally around them. They need a little bit of mother to protect them and tell them that we're not going to take over their space. There are babies too, but yeah, cross your leg and sit down in that room.
Apart from the women who should do this, and I'm really glad you said that. But is there any other way that the industry itself needs to have a mindset shift or process shift in the way things are working right now? Be it, safety on set, be it audition, what kind of auditions, where do you go for auditions? When I'm saying accessibility, I'm saying, can somebody sitting in the Northeast or sitting, in Kashmir or in farther corners of the country appear for auditions to be a part of the industry? Like,
Yeah.
how does the system need to change? Is there a way for the system to change?
It has opened up. It is much better today. It is much better for all of us to get auditions. Auditions are less right now because work is very less.
Okay.
Whatever work is happening is already happening through the networks. So to break into network, you have to, it's not going to be very easy. I mean, you have to know the people where they are doing right kind of work. I think the best way to frame that map, see, for me, what is right kind of work might not be the right kind of work for
Yeah.
a guy sitting in Haryana or a girl sitting in Tamil Nadu, right? So, or Northeast, in Arunachal. So they have to find out what is the kind of, so for example, you gave a very good place, Northeast, right? Something where I also connect with. Now, the kind of scripts those get written for people who represent Northeast community. Now, what are the kind of films am I watching when I'm growing up? That will develop my taste of what I want to do in my life, right? And
Yeah.
who are the filmmakers who are making? This is what I tell in my class also to all my people. Like, if I have grown up watching on a panel in film, and if I have grown up watching a film that is getting shot in Northeast, where Bollywood is showing Northeast in a particular way,
Yeah.
my choice of film is very different, right? So if I want to be part of this Bollywood representation of Northeast, not the Indian cinema representation, the cinema that gets built across the office tables in Versova, Juhu, Bandra, Kolaba, which go to Northeast to make a film there, or the kind of group where people are going literally into the Himalaya and staying there for years, developing script and working, that kind of Northeast. That will filter the kind of audition room I will walk in, because this kind of audition room and this kind of audition rooms are two different rooms. They will never be able to get you into this room unless you become very big, or you become very big in this sector, then you will also get absorbed. Then it's a crisscross. But what you
Yeah.
break through with is the room you break out from. So that will decide your future, where you are headed. After you get seen by everybody, then any camp will call you. Like, I get calls from all people. There is nobody like particular calling me today, but there was a point of time, one particular door completely shut down for me. They never gave me anything so far.
Yeah.
And I started getting something in this room, and today even that room knows me and they have gotten in touch with me. Said no politely, but the point is, the room's open, and it did open for me. That's a very individualistic journey, but what kind of cinema you're watching is your entry point. Who are the people who are making that kind of film? Sit down after the movie is over and the credits are rolling, note the names, go to their profile. Things are very easy. Things are very easy right now. You can literally write to anybody. You can write to anybody you want in this world right now. If you want to make a film and want to connect with a filmmaker, I know Ian Campion have seen my film and praised my work. So that's how accessible we are in today's time.
Right. And do you
Sorry.
also send like emails to people you want to work with, or how do you reach out to people, or do you let it happen
I DM
organically?
a couple of teachers and friends I know,
Hmm.
and I DM 2-3 people almost every week. What is happening? When am I coming on set? I keep doing that because I literally have a lot of time to do that.
Yeah.
But only those 2-3 people, not the whole industry. The industry, I don't know, a lot of people know me and I'm quite chatty with everybody. But when it comes to work, because they all know me and they know I mean, I'm not that busy. So I feel they will call me when they need me. I think they haven't had a space to call me yet. But
Okay. Yeah.
when they watch my film, they say they like me, but they haven't given anything to me to prove that they like me. So I'm greedily waiting.
Yes. But do you think something has shifted after Stolen?
Yeah, I started getting less calls.
Less
Call,
calls.
yeah, nobody calls me.
Why is that?
I have no idea. I was also grieving my dad right
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
success at that time. So the immediate phone calls, I don't know if I was not in the state to respond to. I don't know. I don't think anything important happened also. Like um, I was busy on set. Like, so after Stolen came to India, I was grieving my dad. I lost him immediately. Uh, then I was shooting in South for
Mm.
the film I just wrapped last month. Um, that's a film which has just come out in the news with Nanita Das, the one, and which is my next. Uh,
So do you
we'll get.
oscillate between, the idea of the hustle and between organic things happening to you organically? Do you struggle with that,
I've been
or?
hustling so much that this hustle is very weird to me. I don't think I need to do that hustle. I've done my hustle part. I was navigating through Bombay, and nobody was telling me, nobody was helping me out that much in the audition scenes and stuff. And they were helping all the actresses who were very fluent in English and could speak English and Russian or Italian or British accent. And I would be sitting in the same room wanting to learn Hindi. But because I'm coming from an Indian state with an
Hmm.
Indian accent, nobody was like too much interested in me. And one of the reasons I have changed my names at that time. My name at that time is also because I wanted some attention from those people. If I had told them I'm Aditi Roy, they're not interested in me. So I used to work for Citibank, and I know American accent. I quickly put on American accent and I started talking to them like I'm an NRI, and I need to learn Hindi, and they would teach me perfect Hindi. This was before NSD. So I
Wow.
cracked NSD entrance like that.
There's one thing I wanted to talk about, which Tilottama Shom talks about, being stereotyped as a certain kind of working class woman character. In after she did Monsoon Wedding, she would get a slew of such roles, which made her feel like, why aren't you giving me different kind of roles? Do you feel a danger of that happening, or because you've played marginalized characters, which is very important, which is essential, and I feel like there are only a few women in India who can play it, and you're one of them. Like we've had Shabana Azmin, we've had Smita Patil, and then we've had a few, like we've had you, Tilak Shom, who can play these characters. And recently, in Humans in the Loop, made the actress, I think she was really good as well. But do you see a danger in either an exoticization from the West or a stereotype type character in India that might happen?
So nobody is watching the kind of women we are that much, and that is pushing us to the kind of stereotypes which is celebrated more in cinema and in media in a particular way. She's doing a great job breaking that, and women before her also tried breaking it. Some have been successful. Smita Patil, she's broken it beautifully. Many got stuck. Many waited till they became a certain age and then they tried breaking it, because when they were young, nobody
Yeah,
believed they could
yeah.
break it. So I think Tilottama uh, did break it when she is still young, you know, and we are very young right now to still break it. But even younger people have to break it. You cannot have things change overnight. Doesn't happen that way. Things will take time, but things are changing for good, and that is happening. But there is a huge risk in that phase where we are about to make that mistake. For example, I was given something very stereotype for me, which I have played in two of my films earlier, something very similar.
Mm.
The script was weak, so I said no. Very big
Hmm.
project, very big brand, could have been like all over. I'm very privileged that way. I don't have to still think from that perspective because of the skills I know. I know how to make a living out of the skills set I have as
Yeah.
casting director, as a lifestyle coach, and everything, but I don't have to be stuck in a repetition mode, at least now, because I'm still in the process of building who I am. I know I will not fight too far with the thing that how I look. I cannot prove on camera something very different unless somebody take that kind of a risk with me, which theater directors have taken, but on cinema, because it's again for larger media, it's a lot of money. Who will take that risk? I have to take it myself, giving myself a role of a science fiction script where I'm the girl who's probably working with robotics or stuff like that, or making something AI. I have to take that risk unless somebody can imagine out of the box.
Yeah.
People are not imagining that yet. Not with me, not with any actresses that much. Very few actresses are getting it. Yes, that will be a make or break scene for all of us. And I don't think Tilotuma did, because she played something, but not. I mean, I love everything that we all are doing. Tanishta Di, Tilotuma, all of us, we are doing the same kind of. I mean, they have done more of that, so they got more opportunity to break that image, and definitely they have broken the image. That's why we are talking about them today. But we have to do more. We have to really go out of the box. I have that flexibility is to my side. I can sit and wait and say no to a script and wait for the next one. But not many people have that time, and so they rush. So it's to each their own journey.
I want to round out and wrap up our conversation.
Yeah.
It's been so lovely hearing you, and you're very wise and you're very articulate in your thoughts, and it's I've learned a lot while speaking to you. Thank you for sharing your time and space and talking to me. Is there anything else you would like to say or tell your audience, or talk about work, give a message? Like, is there something that you would tell us?
Just watch out for the films I make. Try to find them because they are very meaningful stories, and they're entertaining also, because it's not like they're only going to make you watch something very preachy. I try not to keep any of my projects too preachy, and just look at filmmaking also from a point of view of an artist, not always don't compare our work always based on money. Of course, we want to make a lot of money through our work so we can give back to our producers for sure. But that's not really the reason we wake up in the morning every day. अगर मुझे सिर्फ पैसे कमाने थे तो मैं बढ़िया से आलू दम बना के बेच के कमा सकती थी, because that's also a craft equally respected by me. And फिल्म देखने आइएगा तो थोड़ा सा patience, I want people to be a bit patient when they watch a film or anything, because that is something missing. Today we are watching something, we are distracted, we are having phone, this, that. I think that's how our contents are getting diluted. तो ये एक तरफा नहीं है हिट, सिर्फ हम अच्छा फिल्म, like we cannot make a film hit by making it authentically and nicely and properly. कुछ आपके तरफ से भी होना चाहिए. So just respect a filmmaker, an actor, a director, a writer. कुछ बोलना चाहते हैं आप, सुनिएगा गौर से बस.
I'm just living in hope that we
Yes,
can see
you
all your
must.
films,
Yes.
and yeah, more
We
power
will,
to
we
you,
will
more
stop
power.
us. More power to you. Keep making cinema. Always hope for the best, because nobody can stop a talkative girl from talking.
Yes.